Hey guys, M13 here, and this is going to be a kind of a classic M13 video. No topic. Actually, no, I do have a topic. But we're going to be doing city, and we're going to be doing rush hour traffic. So this will be one of my more video gamey videos. The reason I started the video, okay, we're doing 3 cities in, okay, according to this, like 13 minutes. But there's going to be that doesn't account for traffic lights. So let's say, I don't know. I'll edit it into the video title at the end of the video, however long it takes. So where I started just now is the beginning, is the middle of Zhongli City. That's the city I live outside of. But we were just in the center of it. We're right near like center downtown and train station. So we're going to go from the center of Zhongli to the next city, which is Neili, and we're going to ride through that entire city. Then we're going to go to the next city, which is Taoyuan, and then head into that to the center. And then that's like I have to go somewhere that's near the train station of that city. So the train stations are generally right in the center. So yeah, 3 cities in roughly 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And yet again, I'm blind. It was funny because the place where I decided to start recording is a place where I buy contact lenses, because I'm using glasses on my face to record this video, and they're not prescription and I'm blind, so I wanted to get contact lenses so I could actually see while negotiating rush hour traffic in the world's most deadly country to ride, according to recorded statistics. The way that works is Taiwan is the only, it's the most dangerous developed country in the world to ride in. There are worse places to ride, but those are third world countries. So as far as developed countries go, Taiwan is the most dangerous on the planet. 3 people die per day on motorcycles in Taiwan. 3 people per day every day. And I'm blind. Whatever. If I squint, I can see a little bit. Okay, topic of the video. I actually got. I like it when, you know, I know a lot of my subscribers. They'll say to me, you know, I've been doing this for, and we're already off topic. I've been doing this YouTube thing for, I don't know, more than 12 years, and I never call my subscribers my fans. Do you know why? Because I think it's condescending. It's just because you watch my videos doesn't mean you're like a fan. I've always thought a fan is someone that, like, well, first of all, to be a fan, you'd have to actually support. Like, you'd actually, like, maybe, yeah, like maybe my Patreon people, I could call them a fan without feeling like a obnoxious dick. Yeah, but it's funny. Sometimes I'll watch videos of people who have like no subscribers and their channel is tiny, and they'll be like, yeah, my fans, shout out to all my fans. It's like, no, trust me, buddy, no one's your fan, you know. No one's got a poster of you up in their bedroom. Like, you've got 50 subscribers, your videos get 8 views, and you're talking about your fans. It's like, call them your subscribers. That's you can't go wrong saying that. You know, but you know, my channel was huge at one point, and I still would never. Anyways, so topic of the video is going to be. I got a motorcycle to my right. Oh! I'm guessing. Sorry, got a lot of wind. I'm guessing that's either a. I don't think it's a 150 because I don't think a 150 could accelerate that hard. No, look at the muffler, man. The muffler has like 2 holes on it. It's got to be like a, I don't know, 250? 300? 是250吗？或者300？ 250. Yeah, it's a 250. Told you. I'm like, there's no way a 150. Because the majority of smaller motorcycles that you see on the road here are 150s, which is the same size as my scooter, which means they're not much quicker, if any. So I knew that. You know, yeah. Okay, so I think we're beginning to exit Zhengli now. So that's from the middle of the city to the outskirts. That's how far it took. That old lady is trying to crosswalk into not a great position to do it. I'm not legally obliged to wear glasses when I'm driving, and it's funny because I'm so blind. I remember, like, if I were to not wear my glasses and ride at night, it's very dangerous. I can't see the curb unless I'll just ride really slow, because I was doing it last night for a video. I remember in Canada though, like, they were giving me the glasses test to see if I could, like, drive legally without my glasses, and I remember saying to the person, I'm like, yeah, no, I definitely need my glasses to legally drive. And they said, well, it's okay. Why have an extra requirement if you don't need it? At least, you know, try to pass the test. So what I did was I had to close my bad eye and then squint with my good eye, and then I could just make out enough letters to, like, legally pass the test. Because my right eye is much worse than my left eye. My left eye is like normal person bad vision, and my right eye is like legally blind probably. Anyways, oh yeah, topic of the video is going to be stereotypes. I've talked about this before, but let's talk about, I hate it when people just say that, oh, you're stereotyping, you know, that's a stereotype, you know, because when people say that's a stereotype, they're saying it as in, that's not true, it's just something that people made up. And that's not the definition of the word stereotype. Stereotype means it's been found true enough for it to become a stereotype. In other words, it's true enough in that group that it's developed into a stereotype. And that doesn't mean it has to be true like the majority of the time. It could just be, you know, something could be true with a certain group of people 5% of the time. Only 5% of that group of people do this thing. And it becomes a stereotype. Why? Because with other groups of people, it's only true 1% of the time. You know what I mean? If with this, you know, if this group of people only does this thing 1% of the time, this group of people does this thing 1% of the time, but this group of people does that thing 5% of the time. That group of people is 5 times more likely to do that thing than the other groups. Then it can become a stereotype. Because when on the news, when you hear about somebody doing that thing, you can, in your head, guess, oh, I bet it's that group of people. That group that's 5 times more likely. And then sure enough, it is them, you know? But then to say, oh, that group of people does this thing would be racist. Because it's only 5% of them doing that thing. You know, 95% don't do that thing. So you can't say that group of people do that thing always. No, it's only 5%, which is a very small minority. But that small minority is still 5 times greater than with any other group. So there's, you know, you can't discount a stereotype entirely. So if that thing were, say, mugging people, and then someone from that group was walking towards you in a street late at night, yeah, you know, common sense dictates you're 5 times more likely to be mugged by that person than from a person from any other group. So yeah, of course you should maybe get a weapon ready in your pocket or across the street or whatever. If you don't, then you're just, no, that's like the human brain is designed to learn from experience. If you touch something, okay, say you're in the forest and you touch a mushroom and it gives you a burn or a rash, and then like you see this weird orange mushrooms and you touch it and it gives you like a bad rash, and then the next time you're in the forest you see a weird orange mushroom and you touch it and it gives you a bad rash. Like, at what point should you just decide that orange mushrooms give you rashes and not that you're racist against mushrooms? Because there might be an orange mushroom out there that won't give you a rash, but should you go and touch every single one? You know, especially if it's like a different breed, but it happens to be orange, or if it's a different kind, or if you touch, you know what I mean? Anyways. I'm just saying, there's the difference between stereotyping, which is just called using common sense, and being racist would be, you have to remember, it's not definitive, you know? It could just be a small minority, but that minority just happens to be greater than other groups of minorities. So, yeah. Okay, I'm still recording. Oh man, there was a time, one of the reasons I haven't been making videos, like one of many, is recently I made like a video where it was so good. I was making jokes and I was like energetic and it was just flowing, and then I stop at a red light and I make another joke and it makes me laugh hard, and then I check to make sure I'm recording and I'm not. And not only am I not recording, I didn't record like any of the video, like it stopped recording right near the start. I was using a camera with a dead battery. So, yeah, I'm riding kind of slow because I'm talking to you guys. Okay, so let's talk about some other stereotypes that are true and why they're true. Let's talk about old people. Socks with sandals. See? And this is a perfect example. Do all old people wear socks with their sandals? No, they do not. What other groups of people wear socks with sandals? Pretty much none. You have to be at least like 40 years old to wear socks and sandals together. Like you won't see an 18-year-old guy walking along next to the beach with socks and sandals. You know? Am I racist against old people? No. I just have common sense. It's only with that group of people middle-aged and up, that they're going to wear socks and sandals together. It's also, what else are older people, middle-aged men known for? Fanny packs. I've been wearing a fanny pack since I was in my 20s. But that's also, fanny packs are also a motorcycle thing. If you're a serious motorcyclist, then you need a fanny pack. You really do. Like, I ride with groups of people regularly, and on a regular basis I have people looking at me and being like, damn, I need to buy a fanny pack. Because when I'm riding a motorcycle, I can just reach down and get my phone, get my wallet, get spare change for a toll booth, anything, without having to try to dig in my pockets that are like, and my legs are bent. Like, it's hard to get into your pockets when you're sitting down. If you're standing up, yeah, you can reach into your pockets. But while sitting on a motorcycle, it bends at the hips, so your pockets are all bent and tight. Especially if your legs are spread on a gas tank and stuff, that makes your pants tighter than they normally are. So yeah. So why do old people, wear fanny packs? Why do old people wear socks with sandals? And the reason is because they're old enough to figure out that these things work. These things give, why do old people wear sweatpants outside, even though it looks bad? Because these things are comfortable, and they've reached an age where practicality is more important than appearances. They care more about functionality than style. So when you talk about, and people always like to talk about how cool so-and-so is, or how cool they are, because they don't care what other people think. They don't care what other people think. If you didn't care what other people thought, you'd be wearing a fanny pack and socks and sandals. Do I wear socks and sandals? No. But I understand the purpose of them, because sometimes when I go out, I wear sandals for the coolness, but when my feet get sweaty, they kind of slide around in the sandals, and sometimes if you're wearing like plastic sandals, the sweat kind of accumulates and the sandals smell bad. So if you put on a pair of socks, you'd have the coolness of the sandals combined with the moisture absorption of socks. So yeah, so I understand why they do it. I'm still young enough to, I've done it a few times when I go to the gym, and that's weird. Why do you wear sandals to the gym? I have a pair of like beach kind of sandals, and they look like running shoes, but they're just kind of open on the sides a lot. Like they're kind of like shoes, but they have big openings. But then when I wear bare feet in them, again, the plastic and the sweat, it's not a great combination. So yeah, I do sometimes, rarely, wear socks with sandals, but not just to go out and about walking. I'm still young enough to care about style to some degree. I I used to always wear a fanny pack, like even when I was going downtown or walking around in a shopping mall or something. And then, but enough people told me that it looked ugly for me to go out and get a purse. So now I wear like a satchel, a man purse. And I'm actually riding slowly because I'm talking. If I wasn't talking, there'd be no one passing me, and I'd just be passing everyone, because that's what I was doing up until the point where I turned the video on. And I don't know. It says, you know what? This lane says go straight. This lane says go straight, so why not? It says go straight or turn, so I'm gonna stop right in the middle of it. Because I'm guessing everyone seems to be moving over because they're worried that this lane might have a right turning arrow. But if the paint on the ground says you can go straight in this lane, then I don't need to you know, leave it free for turners, because the paint backs up that I can use it. That's a cool helmet. So yeah, so I think, yeah, we already went through Naili City. I think since I last pointed out that we were leaving Zhongli up to about now, we finished Naili City, and this is actually, I think this counts as the beginning of Taoyuan City. So we've already done a city and a half. Well, we've already done 2 cities technically. We've done Zhongli, we've done Naili, and now we're into, well, technically we've done 3 cities because we've entered the 3rd one. Look at that idiot on the right. See, he's doing the whole I'm riding fast and I swerve thing, you know, which just tells me he has no skill. Like, I ride fast and I'm smooth. Look, I'm passing him, and he's doing this really aggressive, really shake the scooter all the time thing. And then meanwhile, like, I pass him, and I see that a lot. I see guys that are really aggressive and really, you know, really forcing the scooter into leans and whatnot, and I'm just going like a steady speed and then smooth, and I pass them, and it's like, dude, you know, like, you look like that's him. You look like a loser to begin with, and then, you know, with all the weird swerving, and then you look twice as much a loser when I pass you. Meanwhile, like, if I were to pass someone else who was riding normally, I wouldn't think twice of it. But when I pass one of these guys, it's all like super aggressive. And I pass I pass everyone. I remember I once did about 1,600 kilometers, so about 1,000 miles. I did a trip, and it was like 1,000 miles, 1,600 kilometers. And I remember at the end of the trip thinking to myself, did anyone pass me in all that time? And the answer was no. And what I mean by that is, I've been passed a few times during this video. During that 1,000 mile trip, not once did a vehicle approach me from behind and pass me, like, except for slowing down at red lights, because they're just braking later for the red light. That's not, I don't consider that passing me. That's just braking later than me. That's not passing. So, speaking of which, I'm in front again. Yeah, and it was funny because I used to ride so aggressively that no one would ever, like, just like him passing me like that. That never happened. Okay, like during that trip specifically, it didn't happen once. And then I remember like it wouldn't happen. Like if I was going to work or whatever, it was so rare that the odd time when it did happen, I would barely notice it. Because I remember one time I got to work, and one of my coworkers was like, "Oh yeah, I passed you on the way here." I'm like, "What? Nobody passed me on the way here. Nobody ever passes me on the way here. What are you talking about?" He's like, "No, I was going the opposite direction, and I passed by you." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's possible then." Anyways, so I just rambled on for a bit. I'm 1 minute away from my destination. I'm gonna start looking for parking. I'm going to a legal aid place. I have a court date coming up. And I need, I have a lawyer for my custody battle, but I don't have a lawyer for this. This is like criminal charges. It's something separate. So I'm applying for like a free lawyer. So I had to get some paperwork yesterday. I had to go to a government tax office here and get a list of my possessions, like if I own a house or whatever, a car. And it was interesting because they listed about half my motorcycles, but half were missing. And I'm like, this isn't all my motorcycles. And they're like, yeah, well, we don't list anything less than 150cc. So this scooter is 155cc. It's on the list of my possessions. And then my Cygnus, which is no Cygnuses around? Nope. My Cygnus, which is, you know, a scooter of comparable size, is not listed on the list just because of a difference of 25cc. And the price, it's actually funny. I would say the Cygnus costs more than this scooter. So it doesn't go by price of scooter, it just goes by engine size, which is interesting. And the cutoff is such a weird area, 150. 150 counts as a possession and 125cc doesn't. Anyway, so nice talking with you guys. And support me on Patreon if you're not already. I upload most of my life updates and more detailed information about my court updates and whatnot on there. Yeah, so this is, we're pretty central Taoyuan City now, and I'm gonna have to figure out where the heck to park. And maybe I should put my glasses back on to figure that out, because I am still blind. That's probably another reason why I was getting past this video. The fact that I can't see. Okay, this is funny, I gotta record this. I was just at the household registration office of Pingzhen District, Taoyuan. It's a government office, and I was talking with one of the government workers and about forms and whatnot. And we talked for a little while, and then at the end of it, she's like, "What country are you from?" And I'm like, "Canada." And she goes, "Oh, that explains it." And I'm like, "Explains what?" And she goes, You're too polite to be American." And I'm like, I laughed. And being too polite is not something I get accused of much, because as far as Canadians go, I'm one of the least polite. That's, well, okay, in my opinion. But anyways, yeah, and I said to her, because I didn't believe her, so I said, "No, maybe you mean I'm more friendly than most Americans," because I was chatting with her and making jokes and being friendly. And she goes, no, trust me, it's polite." It's just so, you Americans really need to learn how to say please and thank you or something, because when I walk into government offices, they're just like, "Yeah, you can't be American because you're way too polite." You guys, jeez.